The desert stretched endlessly, a sea of golden sand rippling under the merciless sun. My throat burned, my lips cracked, and every step felt like dragging a corpse through an abyss. I had lost track of time, hours, days, maybe even weeks. The only thing I knew for certain was that if I didn't find water soon, I would die here. The wind howled like a wraith, whipping grains of sand into my eyes, blurring my vision. My legs wobbled. I fell to my knees, coughing up dust. And then, in the haze of my exhaustion, I saw it. A small wooden kiosk, standing alone in the middle of nowhere. It looked ancient, weathered, out of place. But more than anything, it was real. With the last remnants of my strength, I stumbled toward it. A rusted tap jutted out from one of the wooden posts. Beneath it, a metal cup sat on a shelf, filled with water. My heartbeat thundered in my ears. Could this be real? Or was my mind unraveling in its final moments? I reached for the cup, hands trembling. As I lifted it, I noticed something inscribed at the bottom. If you want more water, pour this on the tap. I stared at the words, my breath hitching. A sick joke? A cruel test? My body screamed for relief. I had no way of knowing if this was real or a hallucination, but I was dying. Every instinct told me to drink, and yet the message, a battle raged inside me. Was I willing to risk it? Was I willing to waste the only water I had on something so absurd? But what if it was true? Swallowing my doubt, I lifted the cup and tipped it over the rusted tap. The water splashed against the metal, vanishing into the dust. My heart pounded. I waited. Silence. Then, with a groan, the tap trembled. A violent shudder ran through the kiosk. Suddenly, water gushed forth in a powerful stream. Crystal clear, endless. I gasped, falling back as it poured onto the ground. Relief flooded me. I scrambled forward, cupping my hands, drinking in deep, greedy gulps. The water was cold, pure, nothing like I had ever tasted before. My parched throat sang in gratitude. In that moment, I realized the test had never been about the water. It was about trust. The choice to obey despite uncertainty had opened the door to abundance. Had I clung to fear, I would have perished in the desert, clutching a cup too small to save me. Obedience in tough times often demands sacrifice, but it paves the way for greater provision. I had taken a risk, poured out the little I had, and received more than I could have ever imagined. With renewed strength, I rose, knowing that faith and trust would always lead me to what I needed most.